Welcome to Camilla's Kitchen. Today I'm making some homemade pasta sauce. If you would like to learn how to make this, continue watching and please like and subscribe to my channel. Thank you. I'm going to heat up our oil. It's just enough oil to cover the bottom of the pan. Once that heats up, I'm going to add in our capsicums. This is 2 capsicums. My oil is not heated up. That's okay. And I'm adding capsicums first because they take the longest to kind of soften and cook. We just want to kind of get them soft and let the juices or their oils come out before we move on. Before, we make the actual sauce. I'm bad at this. Alright, now that we're bubbling, we're going to add our onions. This is 2 onions. Oh well, 1.5 because there was only 1.5 in the fridge. Ideally you want to use 2, brown onions. 2 brown onions. And we're going to just saute those off until they become translucent. And you can make sauce any way you like. Every family, every culture, every town has their own way of making sauce. I know I make it different every time. You can make this very complicated, or you can make it very easy. There's many ways to make sauce. You can just roughly chop or dice these. If you want to leave it chunky in the sauce, just dice everything. But I'm going to be blitzing this so it's all smooth and no one can pick out any veggies. I'm going to add my chilies. Don't ask me what type they are. My nonna gave them to me. I'm just going to cook those off. There's six chilies. They weren't very big. I don't know how spicy they are. I hope I'm not going to regret this. Just going to cook that off a bit. We'll be back. Alright, now it's just been cooking for a little bit. I'm going to add my carrots. This is 3 grated carrots and I did not squeeze the moisture out of it. I did peel them and then I grated them. And all of these veggies are pretty much optional. You can add whatever you like. Alright, now we're going to add some garlic. You can add fresh garlic, crushed garlic, whatever garlic you like. This garlic I kind of made in the oven. We're going to say that's 1 tablespoon. 2 tablespoons. Let's just go with 3. If you don't like garlic, completely skip this. I don't know, we'll say that's 3 tablespoons of garlic. We're going to let that, this is getting hot. I'm going to mix. Whoopsies, I'm making a mess. Some people add celery. I don't like celery. And now, I think we'll add some tomato paste. Probably 2 tablespoons of tomato paste. I'm going to let that cook off a bit. And we'll add some, I think we need some herbs in here. Cook that off. I can't be bothered going into the garden. What do I want? I'm going to add some sage. This is dried, I want to open it. Dried sage that I got from the garden. I don't like sage that much. We'll do that. Alright. You can add parsley, and oregano, or basil. Those would be my preferences. But okay, we're going to add some wine actually. Let me see what I've got. This is the wine you can't see. You still can't bloody see. That's the wine. Red wine, use whatever you got. How much? I don't know, what's that, 2 shots? I think maybe 1.5 shots, I don't know. 2 shots, let's just do 2 shots. We're going to cook that until the alcohol evaporates for about a minute. Whoops! I am making a giant mess. For about a minute. What's the bet I'm going to need a bigger pan? Oh my god, it smells delicious. Oh, we need some, I'm going to turn the heat down. Turn the heat down. I'm adding some paprika. I want a smoky. Gonna add some smoky paprika. That's probably like 2 tablespoons we'll go with. I'm making a mess. Stir it up. I learned while watching, taking an online class, you turn the heat down before you put in your spices so it doesn't burn the spice, and it kind of like releases its flavors or something. Let's mix that up. Alright, we're going to go in with our tomatoes, I think. Okay, we can turn the heat back up. Oh god, this is almost 2 kilos of tomatoes in there. And watch me make a bigger mess. Is this focused? I'm going to give it a good stir. Oh, fuck, that's hot. Good stir. Just like this. Coat the tomatoes. It's going to be so good. I'm also making cannelloni tonight. That will be in a separate video. But I plan on using this sauce. Add some salt. Don't add too much because once this kind of reduces, you don't want it to be salt and you don't want to have to water it down to, you know, save it. Add some cracked black pepper. Whatever you like. I think that's it. Give it a stir. Ah, fucking hell, stop touching the metal. And as this cooks, the tomatoes will start to soften and break down. Once they're softened a lot, I'm going to go in and blitz it so it's smooth. But you can leave it chunky if you like, if that's what you like, but my sisters are fussy. Okay, we're going to leave that there, like that, and we wait. Mum said we need half a cup of water, so half a cup, and stir. I reckon we'll probably need more. We'll probably need another half. Probably. So add another half?
Yeah, I reckon add another half.
Okay. Mum's know best, so another half a cup. So that's 1 cup of water.
Alright, I've got to go, come on.
Okie dokie. So because I'm going to blitz this, Mum said it'll thicken up a lot. So we need to add water. And yeah, so I added 1 cup of water. I don't know if I'll probably need more, I don't know. Anyway, the tomato paste is going to thicken this up because, yeah. So I'm going to let this come to the boil, and then we are going to simmer it for, honestly, probably an hour. And you're going to have the lid kind of on when you're simmering it. And you're going to stir every few, you know, every now and again. Because if you let it simmer without the lid, all the water, all those juices are going to evaporate. And we don't want that. We want sauce. So I'm going to put the lid on and let that come to the boil. Alright, we're going to let that come to the boil. We'll be back. I'm going to wash up. Alright, we're not boiling yet. Alright, we're kind of boiling. I'm going to give that a stir. I'm excited. Look how good that looks. Alright, now that's a better boil. Now, give it a stir. And we're going to allow this to simmer for, I'm going to say, 1 hour. I'm going to let it simmer. I'm going to leave the lid like... How do they do it? Not all the way on. Like that. Leave some space. Okay, it's hit the 30-minute mark. This is what it looks like. This is looking amazing. All those tomatoes have pretty much softened. I'm going to let this continue for another 30 minutes. And then we'll blitz. And then I'll taste. And then we'll probably let it continue cooking, because we don't want it to be acidic. Yum. Alright. Let this simmer for another 30 minutes. Done. So it's been an hour. This is the sauce. It is bloody delicious. We're going to blitz this. Be careful because it may spit and we don't want to burn ourselves. Ow. hot. Look at that gorgeous colour. Okay, it's getting a lot more smoother now. Might be good. Alright. Lily? Okay, we'll clean up later. Don't worry about that.
Look at your book.
Oh shit.
Yeah,
That's
exactly.
Okay. Can I have this is our sauce? Oh my gosh, we're gonna let's taste this actually. Let's give it a taste. Do you want to taste the sauce? No. Why not? You're a bit thick, but that's alright. It needs to cook more and it needs salt. It is sour. Okay. We'll be back. Alright, we're back on the stove. We're gonna cook it a little bit more. It's still a little sour. But we also need more salt. I can't open the damn thing. I'm gonna add some more salt. Stir that up. If this is too thick for you, you can add more water to water it down if you like. I don't like a really thin sauce. Woo! Why are we spitting? Good. This is probably not going to be enough for my cannelloni. I'm going to have to add a jar, unfortunately, of passata. But that's okay. We'll see how we go. So we're just going to let this continue to cook until I like the taste, pretty much. And you do the same. Until you like the taste of the sauce, then it's finished cooking. Just don't add a shit ton of salt at the start, because once, like I said, fucking hell, that burns. Yeah, stop it. The damn sauce is exploding at me. Woo! I forgot what I was saying. Cook it till you like the taste of your sauce. Keep the lid on so you don't make a bloody mess like I have in the stove. Alright, let's go back. I'm going to add a little bit of water because I think it's a little too thick for my liking, to be honest with you. We'll add a quarter cup at a time. Look at that, right on. Right, you know what, we're going to add a whole half cup. So this is now 1.5 cups of water. Let's add that in. Yeah, that looks a bit better. I don't know if you can tell the difference, but I could even probably go one more and that's going to be good because we did add quite a bit of tomato paste. I'm going to go in with a little bit more water, I think. So it's a bit, we're thick. The recipe will be completely adjusted on the website, by the way. So now I've added 2 cups of water. This is better. Alright, we're getting there, guys. We're getting there. Sauce is always different whenever you make it. Well, whenever I make it, it's different. Yes, that. I like the consistency of this. See that? It's a little bit more. It's a little bit more liquidy, a little bit more loose. I think we need more salt. Yeah. We're gonna add a little bit of salt, a little bit more. Little bit more salt. And honestly, I reckon I could use with more chili. We're gonna add cayenne pepper. This, whoops, don't burn yourself. Optional, okay? You don't have to add cayenne if you don't want to. You don't have to add extra chili if you don't like extra chili. I don't know. I reckon that'll do. We'll give that a taste. Adding extra cayenne. I'm gonna mix that up. You'll let that continue to simmer till like the salt and that cayenne pepper kind of dissolves and becomes one with the sauce. Alright guys, we're back again with the sauce. Whoopsies, I am making such a mess here, guys. Such a mess. It's been simmering. And I want to say this is pretty much good. Look at that. Guys, this is really good. Delicious. So this to me is ready. It could go with more salt, but I don't want to overdo it with salt. So this is good. I'm going to turn this off and allow it to cool down so that I can assemble everything. But this is good to go if you want to make spaghetti, macaronis, lasagna, whatever you want. I mean, if you make lasagna, you might want to add meat in here. But you can make it vegetarian. But yeah, this is ready to go with anything, to be honest. If I had meat in here, I'd be scooping it up with some bread. Yeah, that's it. Hope you enjoyed this little tutorial, this hectic sauce tutorial. Meaning there are many ways to make sauce. Let me turn the fan off. Let me turn the bloody stove off. How about that? Many ways to make sauce. This is just one way. This is how I do it. It's up to you how you want to make it. Everything that I've put in here is pretty much optional, except for the tomatoes, obviously. You cook it until you like the taste. So you don't want it to be like sour. You know, I know some people add sugar. My mum's one of them, and so is my nonna. I don't like to add sugar. That's why we've got the carrots and the capsicum that brings the sweetness into it. So we don't have to add the added sugar, but if you want to add sugar, that's up to you. Add extra vegetables in here like zucchini, I don't know, mushrooms, whatever you like, you can add in here as well. With the water content, if you like it super thick like I had it before, don't add water. Don't add the extra water. If you like it like this consistency, we added 2 cups in total of water. If you want it more thin than this, add more water. The tomato paste is there to thicken everything up. So if you don't add a lot of tomato paste, it's probably not going to thicken up as much. So just keep that in mind. The wine is optional. Everything is optional. I'll have it all on the website, which is linked in the About section of my YouTube channel. So you can go check that out. And yeah, that's it.